Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here to bring the review for My Hero Academia manga chapter 317. So it's really kind of split into two halves, yeah? All the stuff of Endeavor and then the Deku stuff at the very end, and that is the very best of this chapter, and I'll explain why in a second. Hopefully you feel the same way. But really the first half of the chapter is just them going through, that the ramifications of if things were to go public with Deku right now, like, telling the whole world about all for one and one for all and all that madness. So we just basically found out the ramifications of what would happen if that was to happen, and probably they discuss like the reasons why that's probably not the case as of right now. And thrown into that scene as well, we have a little bit of a reminder, that the Shoto family, is it the Shoto family? The Todoroki family, sorry, rather, still have issues with Dabi that need to be resolved at some point, what. But in the grand scheme of things, when we've got all of this going on right now, Deku hunting down the League of Villains, do we really care about the Todoroki family issues? Do we really care about that? But you can see it's like playing really heavily on Shoto, at least bar minimum, because we see that Harry gets a text and he's got messages from Endeavor. He's got messages from Shoto, and he's got that missed calls. He's like, yo, like, pick up your phone, like, So maybe, I don't know, I just thought this right now actually, maybe Shoto has a lead on Dabi and that's why he's trying to get in contact with Endeavor so badly. But like I said, when you have all of the other stuff, like the main stuff that's going on, you kind of don't really care as much, if not at all, about about the Todoroki family issues. That might be just me. Let me know. After that though, we had the Deku stuff. So just before we flip over and see Deku and All Might, another thing as well, I'll touch on that in a little bit. I'll save it till last, maybe. But yeah, we are told basically Hawks gets a text saying that they run into another hired gun. Deku's dealt with that, yeah. So we flip over to Deku, and now what's been catching my eye for a lot recently since we entered this final act, is Deku's appearance. And now he ain't looking too heroly. Heroly? Is that a word? He ain't looking too much like a hero. And now I want to say he looks like a villain. He definitely, whatever way you want to throw it, he definitely doesn't look like a hero. You could argue if he looks like a villain or not. I pretty much feel like he does look a bit scary, especially imagine seeing that at night. You trying to tell me you won't be on a rainy day? You trying to tell me you ain't be afraid? Imagine now, he swoops down, kind of like Batman as well though, but anyway, we'll talk about Deku right now, yeah? Imagine he swoops down, he saves you. Are you going to be like, yeah, thanks for saving me? Or are you going to be like, don't hurt me. Oh, thank you. Kind of thing, leave so I can leave kind of thing, Trying to tell me you ain't going to be like that. So he does have a villainous essence to him now with his ripped up costume and etc. But one thing I do want to say though is that he looks broken. He looks very broken, like emotionally broken inside. And I was feeling that via appearance within this episode. I know I'm saying the appearance has changed since the final act has started, but through the appearance within this chapter, sorry, and when he was just talking to All Might, and he's like to All Might, it's like, you don't need to follow me no more, I'm fine. And then you have All Might there and he's like, I've been looking after this boy for, I'm basically paraphrasing, but he's been looking after him for so long. And one thing that was definitely said within the chapter was when All Might was thinking back to when he was like, he wants Deku to tell the world that I am here. Now, when he thought that, and then we have Deku there again, I was like, oh my gosh, is Deku going to say now that I'm here? And I was like, oh my, if he was to say that, I'm like, no, that's too much, because right now I just feel like that Deku is broken, and like he's going down a negative path. I don't want to say he's going down to path to become a villain, but he's going down a negative path that he needs to be saved from, and he's out of reach of All Might now. Not even All Might, the person he looks up to the most, can save him from this path. And now that's I felt that even more so when you have that bit where you have Deku just hopping off, like, you know how he moves, and then you just see All Might there and he's just reaching out and he just can't reach him. I was like, Deku is broken. He needs to be saved. And the person that Deku admires the most just can't reach him and just can't save him, and that was heartbreaking. In all honesty, it was heartbreaking. But throughout all of this now, we have Hero Killer Stain close by. I think he overheard all of that. I'm pretty sure he overheard all of that, and he's like, yo. So I think it might be a bit of a stretch, but I feel like Stain will help to save Deku and bring him back to the light, because he's starting to go into the darkness. Like bring him back to his former self before he before the final act starts, and even before the war. So bring back like Deku to his best mentality state, because right now I would say he's in his worst mentality state. So I think that Stain will help him to achieve that, or at least set him on the path to going back towards that. Probably leaning more on the second option, because I don't think Stain should be capable of that by himself. I think that should be a combination of outside influences, his best influence, so that'd be All Might, and then his friends as well. That's what I think. That's what I would expect to take him to bring him back at this point. But it might not go that way. The thing about All Might that I wanted to mention is that the last time, but a couple flippers off a couple chapters back, yeah, and we have All Might stopped by these two villains, and he hops out the car, he grabs the suitcase, and then the next time we see him, basically I'm trying to figure out what happened there. Like, what did we miss? Did someone come and save him? How did he get away from those two villains? I think that this information is important. There's something that I noticed, thought I'd mention it. The last thing I want to talk about though is a statement from Deku, yeah, where he basically says that at this point, I'm doing what you was doing at Prime at 100%. And I still feel like Deku has got ways to go to get stronger, so that is scary. If he's at Prime All Might levels now, I'm trying to find a page. Yeah, what I'm capable of now is on par with you at 100%, and with no recall to boot. And Deku ain't at 100% yet, so what? Deku gonna be scary in his prime. Anyway, that's everything I got to say about this chapter, because it was giving me the feels in the second half. I will give it a 4-star rating, and like always guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, but most importantly, take care, have a nice day.